You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Married to Jonas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Married to Jonas After Show.
Hello, MTJ fans. Bing is for doing, and we're doing another after show right here on AfterBuzzTV.com for Married to Jonas, Season 1, Episode 9. We are so close to the end of this season. Only 10 episodes. Womp womp. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley. I'm going to let the other girls introduce themselves.
I'm Samantha Laich.
Hi, everyone. Suri, Serano.
So what did you guys think of our second to last episode?
I think it was good. It kind of filled in the blanks from where we left off last week. The big question was, does he stay or does he go? And we got that answered.
Shockingly, he stayed. I'm proud of him. I think that was really sweet. It was a great moment.
Did you guys think that he was going to stay?
No, I really thought he was going to leave. And I knew she was going to support him in that. So him changing in the last minute, very touching.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
I thought the same thing. I thought it was going to be more of him like, feel like I need to do this, and her like, I don't want you to, but I'm supporting you, so you should do that. But I think that it really made her happy that he decided to kind of flip the cards and stay.
Probably happens so much with them, like she talks about later on in the episode or throughout the episode. So he probably kind of knew, you know what, I gotta plug on that one this time.
Well, because it wasn't something that he had to do. It wasn't an emergency. It wasn't like a necessity. It's something that he really wanted to do, but it wasn't a need. So I think that's what made it say so much for him to stay, because he didn't need to be somewhere else. Ultimately, it was his decision to stay. He wasn't forced to do either.
It could have been a really good opportunity for him, though, to be on. I mean, we don't know what show he was auditioning for. It could have been American Idol. It could have been X Factor. It could have been any number of those. You know?
Sure. Well, sacrifices, right? Marriage is about sacrifices.
Yeah. And I'm sure he'll only have more opportunities after this show.
Yeah.
So,
my question is, do we think that he was supposed to be on the next, which Joe Jonas he was on? So maybe, do we think Joe was a runner-up to Kevin, or was it a completely different?
Too much speculation for me. I have no idea. We could.
yeah.
The questions we could ask.
I know. Maybe he would have been Mario Lopez's place on X Factor as the host. Probably not.
He's not outspoken enough.
Khloe Kardashian would not give him a minute to talk. I feel like he wouldn't be able to fight for the spotlight.
Yeah. Well,
Mario will give her a run for
Great
money.
choice. Happy he stayed.
Yes. Guess we'll never know what show he might have potentially been on. But yeah, it was very touching that he stayed. And then another touching moment that we had in the show is as they left their hotel to go, start their adventures for the day, some fans approached them. And both Kevin and Dani were very receptive to all of these people.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with celebrities, if you don't stop and thank those people or give your fans like the time of day, and if they want a photograph or an autograph, if you have the time, do it, because you have the status in your career because of those people. You have, you're popular because of them. So if you don't kind of pay it forward and thank them for that, then you're just someone making a really good income.
The fans are the reason why they got to go on that extravagant trip to Italy.
You love the trip that they went on.
I know, I do. I just wish I could have been there.
We're living
we know where you're going to go one day.
One
or
day.
back to.
Yes. Definitely. But it was very touching. I mean, it meant so much to those fans, and it took maybe, 2 minutes out of their day.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that some of the girls were crying, and they didn't even, I don't think they spoke good English. So just by him kind of being there, he said a couple things in Italian,
Arrivederci.
Yeah, and the girl was just kind of sobbing, and he's like, this is good cry, right? Good cry, not bad cry? Okay, good.
Yeah. So they ended up going to this winery where they got to smush grapes with their
beautiful.
It was pretty low. I've done that before.
You have?
But I've been in like a massive up to here in grapes.
Yeah.
So that was pretty low key, but it's really cool. If you haven't done it, I highly recommend it.
I really want to. I don't know if I could do the up to my knees thing,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest feeling at first, but then it gets really fun, especially if you sampling while like an actual drinking.
Did you have to
While
sample the wine, the foot wine?
No, it was only my tub anyway.
Okay.
And it was huge, but I had a few sips of wine while I was stomping away. It was a good old party.
Oh no, go on.
I was
Samantha.
surprised that they kept the stems on there because it looked like they were just literally picked off the vine. I would have thought that they would have kind of gotten that out of there. Just
Yeah,
to
no, it
make
kind of hurts a little at first.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not
I think
like
Dani
super
even
soft.
said that before.
Does
She's
it hurt?
like, "Does this hurt?" Before she got
Little.
in
I
there.
feel like your feet could get scraped up a little bit.
It did, but it's so cold
Yeah.
that you get more. You
Really?
can't really feel it. Yeah, it's really cold.
Did you do white grapes or?
I did the dark.
Oh.
So did your feet get stained?
No, but you hose off after, and then you're fine.
I always wondered that. Like, do they have showers at these wineries? No one
That's-
ever
yeah.
tells
That's
you.
a little high maintenance.
Or like
You
they
were
just
up to your
hose you
knees.
off.
That's some heavy duty like rinsing right there.
Yeah, I was in my underwear doing it. It was hilarious.
I might.
You get a group of girlfriends, you go
Yeah.
up to Santa Barbara, we're in Southern California,
Yeah.
and do it. It's a great time.
I would put bags on my feet.
Are you kidding
would do
me?
it.
You won't experience.
No, I
That
would do
ruins the
it.
experience.
I don't know.
Definitely do it if you ever get the opportunity.
Yeah. Would you drink the wine, the foot wine?
Oh, right. The family foot wine.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
You guys were almost throwing up.
I don't know why or how he did that.
I might if it was like if someone dared me.
Yeah.
I don't think I would just be like, yes, I
But
would
just
like
a
some
dare
fruit
or like a
juice."
dare for something? Like, do you want something in return? If I was like a dare ya, would you do it?
Possibly. It really it depends.
That looked like
It's
the.
pretty gnarly. Like I wasn't into it watching it, but
It looked like the water that they have as before water on the Brita ads, and then they filter it all out, and it's like
oh
clear.
my gosh.
I mean, that's a lot of feet by
So
a
I guess
lot
you
of
guys
different
wouldn't
people.
do it. It's safe to say.
If
No.
it was just my foot, maybe.
Maybe if it's your foot, you definitely.
No, if it was just me in the bucket, I would do it. But when there's what, 6 of them, 7 of them that were in the same bucket,
And it was a tiny bucket. The ones I were in were like massive.
I would trust my feet. I would trust my spouse's feet, but I don't know about Bucky's feet. I don't know. Maybe
well, her brother, he's like, I've got, what do you say?
athlete's
Athlete's
foot. Yeah.
I'm sure he's kidding.
Gross.
But how funny to
Yeah.
think, like, someone's got something going on and you're drinking
It
out
was
of it.
good for the cameras.
Yeah, and they got to do like the full Italian experience. They got to make their own pizzas right after that, and I've always wanted to throw up the dough in the air and try to make the pizza dough.
Oh my gosh, you are living on this vacation with them.
I am living vicariously
it.
through the Delisas.
The best was when she was like, "How do you say pig?" And
Porca.
You're a big porca.
You
I
look like
did
a
love that
porca.
because the only thing that Bucky was really focused on was just getting through the making of the pizza so he could eat it.
Is there ever a time when Bucky's not thinking about food?
I haven't seen it.
Not on the show.
Yeah.
I feel like even when the man's sleeping, he's dreaming about food.
I love it. Good
I
for
think
him.
it's hysterical.
There's your part. Drinking the foot wine.
Yes. Lovely.
Foot juice.
So they
My
make their own
goodness.
wine, well, which is really just grape juice, right?
Yeah, they didn't really make
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a step.
And then it hasn't, what is it called?
Fermented.
Fermented
Fermented.
yet. That's what I was looking for. It hasn't fud yet. It hasn't fermented yet.
Oh my gosh.
And then they made the pizzas. So it looks like they had a great time. And then celebrity couples got brought up, and Dina and Danielle went on a walk by themselves to talk about how Dani was dealing with everything and how Danielle and I guess the rest of the family were surprised that Kevin stayed.
Mm-hmm.
And she revealed a lot in this relationship. She revealed to Dina that she is struggling with anxiety again, and she went off meds for a while. What did you guys think about, everything that they talked about?
I mean, I think it was a talk that they needed to have. It seemed like it went well and it didn't end on a bad note whatsoever. And I think that there was more to the story than obviously what we were told, because that was one of Kevin's main reasons for staying, is that Dani was doing so bad at that time that he felt not for any other reason if he were to take everything else away from it, but that she needed him there because of how she was feeling. So obviously it's serious enough that it needed to be brought up, and Dina even says, look, like, the family, we've been talking behind closed doors about how you've been lately, and it's making us nervous and we're sad, and we just don't want you to feel that way. We want you to be happy again and experience and enjoy things, and if she isn't able to do that, I think that they definitely had a good conversation, kind of like back to when they took Katie prom dress shopping, and they had the whole sex conversation and the relationship, and I feel like it was a good sister to sister talk, as opposed to like mother-daughter, kind of telling you what to do. Is more of just a discussion of how they can help her.
Yeah. Dina even said it's weird giving Danielle advice because she's been married
a couple months less
time. Yeah.
I did not even know that either. I was actually surprised by that, because I feel like when they talk about their relationship, they kind of just make it seem like Brian's been around forever.
Yeah.
And they've actually been married a couple months less than.
Yeah. So, one of the things that Dani mentioned is that she didn't want to let on to Kevin that she was under this much stress. And how do you feel? I feel like in a relationship, that's something you need to tell your spouse.
I feel two different ways about it, because I feel like if you can handle it and you can deal with it on your own, then don't bring it to the table for someone else to have to stress about and think about. But obviously she can't handle it that way, so if that's the case, then you need to talk about it, as opposed to shutting yourself off because he knows that something's wrong. She just won't talk about it. So he knows something's going on. If it's going on that much and something is that serious, then it needs to be discussed. If you can kind of shove it under the covers and deal with it yourself, then I don't feel like it needs to be kind of put on someone else.
Don't you think your spouse is supposed to be your support system, though?
I think she's just been, I think she's a supportive wife and tries to only give him what he needs to know, and kind of, not be too over, like, she doesn't want to stress him out.
She doesn't want him to resent her either for not going on.
It's okay. Like, again, I think I've said it before. I think they're just young and figuring it out, and it's healthy, and now she's going to share more because he said, please, I can't read your mind.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that Dani said she doesn't have someone that she can look up to in this situation. And I was thinking about it during the episode. There are very few celebrities who have married people that aren't celebrities. And I could only think of, the one person that I could think of is Matt Damon.
Yeah.
That's really the only person I could think of.
Chris O'Donnell.
Okay.
How long have they been married?
There are a couple, but there
time.
really aren't that many.
No. It's hard. It's hard for celebrity, and it's hard for celebrity, non-celebrity.
They did touch on that during the episode, just because celebrities are always on the go, and she even said that even when you're with that person, like when she goes on tour with Kevin, she very rarely sees him. She's just kind of there.
Existing. Yeah, it has to be hard for them to have the moments. Like Dina, when they had that conversation, she even said, I just want to, Dani was like, Dani, she was saying, getting confused with all the D names, I just want to do normal things for her. And she was like, you can't, like, I'm sorry to say that, it sucks, I know, but you can't do normal things like you want to do with him, because it's not his lifestyle. You want to go to the grocery store and people are going to notice you, it's not normal anymore.
Yeah.
I think they're in great shape, though, because his number one priority is her.
Yeah.
And that's what matters.
Yeah.
So they're going to be just fine.
That's what you need for a successful relationship. Definitely. So it seems like Dani felt a little bit better after this conversation. and they moved on with the rest of their trip. Before we go on to talk more about Married to Jonas, I just want to mention that on our iTunes page, we actually have 50 shows here at AfterBuzz TV every single week. So if you are fans of other shows like The Voice, X Factor, Castle, Sam does Castle, and we have so many shows here. So if you go to iTunes, you can go to the store, subscribe to AfterBuzz TV, subscribe to our Married to Jonas podcast, and then also rate and comment, because it really helps us. We love to know, what you think about the show. It only takes a minute. And then tell a friend, because that's really how we grow here and get to bring you all of that free content. So,
Yes.
that's all. But Married to Jonas, they ended up going to yet another dinner, it seemed like. And this was definitely more lighthearted. They joked about Katie liking the three guys by the beach, except for the one in the Speedo.
Yeah.
And then I think Mikey chimed in and said that every girl that he's seen is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then they made fun of Bucky's weight again.
Poor Bucky.
Yeah.
He loves food. That's all.
Yeah. So the episode kind of ended with Kevin and Danielle talking about future trips. And it seems like they had a lot coming up while this was filming. They have Kevin's tour.
Yeah, and this was, how many months ago? So
this was back in like May.
Yeah, so we've gotten to see a little bit of what's happened for them. And most recently, they've had their Radio City Music Hall performance for the Jonas Brothers, which is on 10, 11, 12. So I think it's only going to get busier now for them, especially after that. And the year is going to be gone before they know it.
Yeah. What do you think, Suri?
A life of a celeb, somebody like that, their every day is like crazy busy. I don't think anything's going to change. It just continues.
I think all of us kind of hope that Dani develops her own thing, and not in a bad way at all. I just hope that she, can be happy with, not only supporting Kevin, but also doing something for herself.
She will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's already happening. Just the fact that they have this show, that's just going to continue to build for her.
And it seems like over the course of the season, even though she's had this anxiety and she, talks a lot about it, I feel like she is kind of developing into her own person. She seems a lot more comfortable on camera, and, hopefully that will translate into something off camera.
Yeah, she's opened up a lot more. Even for them to get in fights like we've seen in past episodes, you have to be comfortable enough to even do that in front of cameras, because you know that that's probably going to be something that's aired. Even if your fight lasts for 3 minutes out of the entire week of taping that you're doing, that 3 minutes is going to make it onto air because it's the drama. So for her to even open up that much to kind of let that out, I feel like she definitely is growing and kind of letting herself be in front of everyone.
Do you think she'll be okay with traveling outside of Jersey?
Yes.
Because that was, she was joking about it, but
yeah.
I think she's fine with it. She just doesn't, it's not a preference.
Yeah.
She would much rather, like she said, stay in Jersey, go to the beach in Jersey, have 6 dogs.
Yeah.
Her comfort zone,
Yeah, definitely. Well, unless you guys have any other comments about this episode, I think that wraps up what we're talking about.
We covered everything.
Yeah. It was a quick episode. It felt very short, but they jam-packed a lot of stuff into it.
I said that even during the taping. I was like, I feel like this was the shortest episode of them all.
Yeah.
But it kind of wrapped up last week, so I think that was the biggest part of give a conclusion.
Definitely. Well, let's move on to news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So there isn't much news this week, but the couple things that we have to talk about are kind of big. So last week we mentioned that there was a lot of speculation that one of the Jonas Brothers' new songs was about Miley Cyrus. And we know that Nick writes a lot of the songs for the boys, and this particular song, Wedding Bells, which they played at their Radio City Music Hall concert, kind of talked about a relationship and how an ex had moved on and was getting married, and obviously people thought that it was about Miley Cyrus because she's getting married to Liam Hemsworth.
You did?
What?
You thought it was about her.
I did think it was about her because I couldn't
Yeah.
think of another relationship that any of them had where they were, engaged.
I was surprised by that too because I felt like that was so long ago, and he's had more current girlfriends that to write about if there were something to write about. But I
He's
think I got
obsessed with
proven
Miley.
wrong.
Yeah, and she actually somewhat confirmed that. She was asked about, is this song about you? And she said, I don't know who else is getting married, so I feel like it's pretty blatant. So if that doesn't confirm it, I don't know what would. But then another piece of news and gossip is that the Jonas Brothers are continuing their tour, obviously, and tonight they're in Singapore. So they wrapped up their Australian stuff and are finishing up their tour, but it seems like everyone in other countries is enjoying it. They've had a lot of sold-out concerts, and there was actually a clip on YouTube of a lot of people in Asia singing along to the Jonas Brothers' Love Bug song, which is pretty cool to watch.
And Married to Jonas is airing in other countries now as well, right?
Yes, it is. It premieres in Australia pretty soon. So
They'll be excited.
yes, definitely. I know that they have a lot of fans in other countries that are waiting for more Jonas Brothers related material. So I think that wraps up news and gossip. Let's end out this after show with some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Spooky music. Perfect for Halloween.
It's so perfect.
Yeah. So we saw next week on the episode, and I've been waiting for this all season long. I wanted to see the Jonas family and the DeLisa family in one room because I thought that there are so many big personalities that it's bound to clash somehow.
Yeah, and we got to see them separately.
Yeah.
The
Suri's making
mother-in-law.
funny face.
I'm making
Are
a
you
funny
nervous?
face because what's flashing in my head
Oh.
is the Jonas mom coming
Yeah.
in. I
Yeah.
would not get along with her.
What is
It's
that?
like
Wha-
really?
We saw a clip
Wow.
of she brings Dani a plant and she says, "Oh, this is a snake plant."
Yep.
Which
also known as the mother-in-law or
Mother-in-law's tongue.
Yes.
What does that even mean?
Hi, here you go.
I feel like that's going to be like a haunted plant now. She's going to look at it and be like, I feel like your mother is always watching us.
Cursed.
She's
Or something.
intense.
Yeah,
Perfect word to describe her. She is very intense.
definitely. So the other thing that is teased for next week is the Radio City Music Hall concert, which I was actually shocked by since we know that most of this series has been filmed or was filmed back in April, May, and then the beginning part of June. So it was interesting to see that we're going to get stuff from last week.
It's perfect timing to end. You know how to end. Perfect way to end the season is what I was going to say.
Definitely.
Yeah,
A
fans
great way
are
to close it
definitely
out.
going to be excited, especially because it was just one show.
Mhm.
So it'll give everyone that wasn't able to make it a little bit of insight of what actually went down that night.
Yeah. They'll get to see some footage from the show, hopefully, and then maybe, I mean, you can get the songs online or hear them online, but I'm sure we'll also get to see snippets of some of their new songs on the finale, which will be exciting.
Yeah.
So I think that wraps out this week. If people want to find you guys until next Sunday, how can they find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Samantha_Laich, Laich.
At Suri Serano, SuriSerano, and also on Dancing with the Stars here on AfterBuzz.
Oh yeah, check that out on Wednesday night.
Yes, 7 o'clock.
Cool. And you can find me on Twitter at Cathy Kelley. Until next week's finale on Sunday night, we'll be here.
I won't
Hopefully
be
you'll tune
here.
in. Well, Samantha won't be here. Suri and I will be here,
You
and
guys will be
probably
here.
Michelle as well. This empty chair will be filled. So make sure to tune in next Sunday night for our finale of Married to Jonas.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.